Hi everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'll just look at this FocalML again, and this is part 3 of the tutorial, and we will look at some very advanced features of this FocalML. Basically consistent character. We can do consistent character in this FocalML in a single video, of course. So if you are doing a 10-part video, then that might be a different story. But if you are just doing one video itself and you want consistent character, you can do that. So for this tutorial today, I'm going to use Chatgpt to give us a script. In part 1 and part 2 of the video, I actually show you how you can just give it a prompt. That means ask the FocalML to generate the video about something. But for today's video, I'm going to use Chatgpt, FocalML, and finally I'm going to use Capcut to do the final editing to make the video more appealing. So with this, let me go to Chatgpt to get the script first. So I'm going to ask Chatgpt to write me a 2-minute story on Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Let's see what Chatgpt come up with. So once upon a time in here, okay, so this could be less than 1 minute or 2 minutes, doesn't matter. So go back to FocalML. I'm going to click on this start from a script. Instead of asking FocalML to write me a story on the 40 Thieves, it can do that, but there's time where you have your own script. So FocalML can't do that, because if you already have your own script, so you wanted to use your own script, that's where the own script can come in. So click on this start from a script, and then I'm going to paste it, choose a language, and then the idea here. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to use, because if you click on this idea here, you'll change a little bit. No, the idea is actually generate something else, because if you don't know what to write, then FocalML is going to generate something else. No, I have my own script now. So I'm going to click continue, and in this continue part, by default, it will show you this photo realistic, and then you have all this character over here. This is Alibaba, this is Kasim, this is the bandit leader, and then the K for this. I've done this photorealistic in the part 1, comic book in the part 2 of the tutorial. So today I'm going to try something else. Let me call it, let me use a 1980 cartoon. And remember, this is the first time I'm doing together with you. Let me take note of the token first, because I wanted to see how much token I will use up at the end of it. So this is Alibaba, and this is going to be consistent character, but this is not the actual character, because this character is based on this photorealistic. So let me click on it. So instead of thin middle-aged Arabic man with short hair, let me see. Let me change it to short. White hair with a nearly trimmed black beard, with a thin middle-aged Arabic man with short white hair. Instead of black, I change it to white, and then I say no beard. So instead of having it beard, I'm not going to choose no. When I click save, then you'll show me the 1980 cartoon, and that doesn't look very good. Let me see. What if I were to use a 3D render? Remember, this is the first time that I'm doing this together with you. Okay, so Does this look like Alibaba? Definitely not. But I just want to show you the consistent character when we when we do the video throughout the whole process. So I'm going to pick this one and then click save. Okay. And then the voices, they auto-generate for me. This is Alibaba, Kasim, and all these different voices. One thing is that we can't preview the voice, because if you want to change the voice, then you don't know how this sound like. And then show advanced setting. So advanced setting here, I'm going to change it because basically this part over here is telling you there's 2 chapters. Because remember, in part 1 and part 2 of the tutorial, every chapter I will need to regenerate it. So I'm going to delete the chapter away. And let me go back to Chatgpt. This is a script, right? So I'm going to copy it. Actually, I can just copy from the below. Anyway, I just wanted it to be 1 chapter, so I generate the script 1 time. So this is under the advanced setting. Because every script that you throw in, it will show you a few chapters. So if you have a 5 or 10 minute video, then this is going to be 10 or 20 chapters. And then you need to generate each chapter 1 by 1. So I'm going to click on this create project. But let me see. I'm going to put a narration. If I were to click regenerate voice, okay. Yes, this is a part because I don't want it to be dialogue. I want it to be a narration. That means you just speak by one person. So this person will talk about once upon a time in ancient Persia, or a poor woodcutter named Alibaba, and so on. So I'm going to change it to narration. If you change it to dialogues, then you have all the different kind of people speaking. So we'll leave it as narration for now. This is all the advanced setting of FocalML, and then click create project. So over here, the first thing always wanted is this setting over here. The image, I'm going to use Flux. And then the video part, I'm not going to use minimax. I use minimax on the part 2 of the tutorial. Let me go back to the Dream Machine. Dream Machine is cheaper because it costs 35 tokens per generation. And then the style, actually I wanted to use a 1980s, but the Alibaba don't look quite nice to me, so I have choose 3D render. I don't know what is 3D render. This is the first time that I'm going to do it with you. And over here, instead of having a few chapters, I now have only 1 chapter. And then I'm going to click generate. And please from over here, and this is it. Please adapt this chapter as it is. Let me try a prompt, because when I generate the chapter, it will have a lot of unwanted image. Remove images without voiceover. I'm not sure if this will work, but let's try. Please adapt this chapter as it is. Remove image without voiceover. This part here is I add in myself, and click on generate, and then it will start to generate the whole chapter. Remember, I combine everything into 1 chapter. If not, I will have 1 chapter here, 1 chapter here, 1 chapter here, and I need to generate every one of it 1 by 1. So it's done, and this part here actually worked. Remove images without voiceover. So now every part of the story or every scene has a voiceover, and this is actually what I want. Without adding this, then you have some images extra that is totally without any voiceover. So I'm going to click accept, and let me just go back to the first part over here, and we will just watch part of it first.
Once upon a time, in ancient Persia, a poor woodcutter named Ali Baba stumbled upon a secret cave while collecting firewood in the forest.
Okay, this part here is quite down, because just looking at it, it's talking and there's no movement on this particular part. And then let me continue on.
As he approached, he overheard a group of 40 thieves who were hiding their stolen treasure in the cave.
Sesame.
Okay, we can see that the first part here, if we were to take the video as it is, it will look quite dull. And this part over here, and this part over here, okay, it is just open sesame. That is still okay, I believe. So let me animate, but I'm not going to animate all the scene. Let me zoom out for you to see. So there's quite a lot of thing, but I'm not going to animate all the scene. I'll just randomly select a few to animate it. Okay, we can change the prompt here, but let me go back to the prompt later. I will just take the default one and I'm going to animate. Basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to animate all those that has a long voiceover. Like for this part over here, the voiceover is pretty long. So I wanted to animate this. And you're not going to animate, and you don't have to animate every individual scene. Of course, if you want, you can. So I'm going to do selective scene to animate. Maybe if you have the time, you take a look at the voiceover, and certain voiceover you want to animate, certain voiceover you don't want to. So like this part over here, I don't think I want to, because this is just a very short voiceover. And maybe I will animate this. Okay. Like I say, I'm just doing random one. So I'm going to animate this part. And this two scene, I leave it. And then I animate this part over here. And when it is finished, we'll just take a look at the full video first. So in this particular video, I did not animate every single scene. And this is Alibaba. Of course, it don't look like it because Alibaba is a young man. I put it as a white hair. But we can see that it is a consistent character. And this is a very important part when you're creating storytelling or any kind of thing that require a consistent character. So now that it have almost done, so this one is done. I left two more. Then we will preview the whole video, and then from here we will change the animation if something is not quite right. So just bear with me for a moment. I'm going to watch this video together with you for the first time. Okay, it's done. So let's watch it together.
Once upon a time, in ancient Persia, a poor woodcutter named Ali Baba stumbled upon a secret cave while collecting firewood in the forest. As he approached, he overheard a group of 40 thieves who were hiding their stolen treasure in the cave.
Open sesame.
The leader of the bandits uttered a magical phrase, "Open sesame," and the massive rock door to the cave swung open. Curious but cautious, Ali Baba waited until the thieves left, and then he approached the cave himself. With the same phrase, "Open sesame," he entered the cave. Inside, he found piles of gold coins, jewels, and priceless treasure.
Okay, maybe it look a little bit dull over here, so let me animate this part. Okay, remember, I'm doing this together with you for the first time. So as we go through the storyline, we can choose which part we want to animate. So far, I'm just leaving it as default. So we have to wait for a while. And then we go back to the previous scene and play it.
And then he approached the cave himself.
It's not done yet. Okay, I need to wait for it to be finished 100%. Okay, so this is done. Then I'm going
In
to
phrase,
preview it.
"Open sesame," he entered the cave. Inside, he found piles of gold coins, jewels, and
Okay, before that it's just a still image, so now the coin is moving.
priceless treasures. Greed tempted him, but his heart was wise. He only took a small amount to ease his family's hardships and left the cave undetected.
So this is Alibaba.
However, Alibaba's discovery wasn't a secret for long. Against his Alibaba's brother, advice, Kasim learned about the treasure, but in his excitement to know where he forgot the magic words.
Where's the treasure hidden? Tell me, Barley.
Trapped inside, the thieves returned, and Kasim was captured. When Alibaba found out, he risked his life to rescue his brother.
Okay, this part here is
with
not,
the help of his clever servant.
this part here is not consistent. I don't know. Close up. Look at the cave. Because they already defined the Alibaba. Was this the correct one? No. Medium shot at eye level at Alibaba, looking weird. Okay, this wasn't a consistent character. Maybe they can improve on this part.
His life to rescue his brother. With the help of his clever servant girl, Morgiana, Alibaba devised a clever plan to outwit the thieves. Morgiana poured boiling oil into the thieves' hideout, killing them one by one.
Okay, I think this part here we can animate it because it's going to pour oil and then build a fire around it. So this is how we actually do a proper video. Now if we were to do it manually, then you have to go to Leonardo AI MidJourney to get the image, and then you need to go to Runway or Kling or some other tools to turn the image into a video, not to mention about consistent character. So let me go back to one previous scene, and once this is done, we'll just play it. Just bear with me a moment. So this is almost done, and it's done. So I'm just going to play.
Morgiana, Alibaba devised a clever plan to outwit the thieves. Morgiana poured boiling oil into the thieves' hideout, killing them one by one and saving Alibaba and his family from danger. In the end, Alibaba and Morgiana's bravery led to the downfall of the thieves, and Alibaba lived out his days in peace and prosperity with the riches from the cave. But now wise enough to understand that true wealth lies not in gold, but in loyalty and wisdom.
Okay, so this video is 1 minute and 30 seconds long, around there, 1 minute and 33 seconds. So let me take a look how much I use up. I did not generate all the video, and I use the cheapest version of the video generation, minus. So it take me about 200 tokens to generate a 1 minute and 30 second video. That's not too bad actually, if I did not choose the minimax video model. And as you can see, I did not generate everything. I did not generate all the scene to be a video, just part of it. And then I can now click on this export button over here. And this is going to be your post, and then I will just click publish. Because only by publishing it can I download it, otherwise I cannot download. Okay, remember I don't have a caption over here, because the caption from FocalML right now is just a very standard caption. And I wanted to bring this video to Capcut so that we can do some enhancement over at a Capcut site. So actually this over here is telling us it will take us about a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes to generate. Anyway, it's done. So click on this view video over here.
Once upon a time in ancient...
And I'm going to download this. And remember, after you download, because your video is being viewed by all the other people, always come back to this edit button. So download as fast as you can. After download, delete the post, so other people can't view your video. This is one part of the FocalML that they are working on it. Okay, right now I'm done with FocalML, and this is a video generated by FocalML, and I'm going to use Capcut. Let me launch the Capcut. So the Capcut here, I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to drag this into here. Okay, I have a pro version of the Capcut, so if you're using a free, you may or may not have all the tools that I'm using. The first thing I want to do is to do the auto caption first. With Capcut, when you do auto caption, then you have to manually go and verify is the caption correct or not.
Once upon a time in
Okay, this is the caption here. Why do I want to choose Capcut for the caption? Because I wanted to do something else. Because in Capcut you can have all this kind of thing. So we can turn the caption into a emoji.
Once upon a time in ancient Persia.
Or we can do something else.
Once upon a time in ancient Persia.
So if you don't want it to be too complicated and you don't want to use a
Once upon a time in ancient
emoji
Persia.
kind, then we just go for something simple.
Once upon a time
So
in
this
ancient
is
Persia.
once upon a time, and then all this thing. And the other thing I wanted to do was go to the effect, and if this is a very old kind of cartoon, then I will use a black noise. Then I will generally use a black noise like this. So for you to understand what the effect look like,
A poor woodcutter named
you will
Alibaba
see all this kind of
stumbled
black
upon a
noise.
secret cave.
Depend whether do you want it. If you want it, then we can drag it all the way.
A poor woodcutter named Alibaba
Then you can
stumbled
see all
upon a
this black
secret
noise
cave
over
while
here.
collecting firewood.
Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to do is snow, maybe. Let me see.
While collecting firewood
Okay,
in the
you
forest.
can see all this snow over
As he
here,
approached-
and I'm going to add it. Okay, I'm going to drag it to the whole video. So now that I have the black noise and snow features added,
While collecting firewood in the forest. As he
so
approached,
the video is
he
not so
overheard a
down.
group of four-
Of course, it is up to you to add all the different kind of effect, but let me just export this video first. So with a combination of Chatgpt, FocalML, consistent character, and Capcut, let's view the final result of the creation. So watch this video again if you are still unclear, because in this video I show you how you can do consistent character and how you can remove the unwanted images without voiceover during the generation process. That prompt is going to save you a lot of time, because if you leave it as default, then FocalML is going to generate a lot of unwanted image, as you can see from the part 1 and part 2 of the tutorial. So with that, I would like to thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you on the next video, and we can now take a look at the final result. Thank you. Have a nice day, and goodbye.
Once upon a time, in ancient Persia, a poor woodcutter named Alibaba stumbled upon a secret cave while collecting firewood in the forest. As he approached,
So this is the result. Thank you.
Once upon a time, in ancient Persia, a poor woodcutter named Alibaba stumbled upon a secret cave while collecting firewood in the forest. As he approached, he overheard a group of 40 thieves who were hiding their stolen treasure in the cave.
Open sesame.
The leader of the bandits uttered a magical phrase, "Open sesame," and the massive rock door to the cave swung open. Curious but cautious, Alibaba waited until the thieves left, and then he approached the cave himself. With the same phrase, "Open sesame," he entered the cave. Inside, he found piles of gold coins, jewels, and priceless treasures. Greed tempted him, but his heart was wise. He only took a small amount to ease his family's hardships and left the cave undetected. However, Alibaba's discovery wasn't a secret for long. Against
His greedy
Alibaba's
brother,
advice,
Kasim
Kasim
went
learned
to the
about the
cave,
treasure,
but in
and
his
demanded to
excitement,
know where
he
it
forgot
was
the
hidden.
magic words.
Where's the treasure hidden? Tell me. Barley.
Trapped inside, the thieves returned, and Cassim was captured. When Ali Baba found out, he risked his life to rescue his brother. With the help of his clever servant girl, Morgiana, Ali Baba devised a clever plan to outwit the thieves. Morgiana poured boiling oil into the thieves' hideout, killing them one by one and saving Ali Baba and his family from danger. In the end, Ali Baba and Morgiana's bravery led to the downfall of the thieves, and Ali Baba lived out his days in peace and prosperity with the riches from the cave. But now wise enough to understand that true wealth lies not in gold, but in loyalty and wisdom.